I remember telling someone that she can actually bake a cake with yeast, but she doubted me, saying it's not gonna come out fine. It's either going to turn out like a bread or it's going to flare aside. But I want to use this video to prove this person that you can bake a cake with yeast. So join me. So to make this exact yeast cake recipe, you need 50 grams of whole egg, 50 grams granulated sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon butterscotch. You can still use vanilla flavor, a pinch of egg yellow, and 50 grams of butter or margarine. The egg yellow is optional if you don't want to use it, okay? Then you will go ahead and cream or whisk everything thoroughly, just as you see me do in the video. If you have a hand mixer, you can use it. Also note that this recipe, you can double it, you can triple it, and you will get amazing results, okay? So the next thing, I added my flour. I measured 50 grams flour, sifted flour, 50 grams sifted all-purpose flour. So after adding the flour, I made sure that I mixed everything thoroughly with my hand whisk. Don't forget, you can also use your stand mixer or your hand electric mixer. It also works fine. So after adding that, the next thing, I added my liquid milk. I added 2 teaspoons of liquid milk, okay? So I went ahead and make sure everything has combined so well. After adding the liquid milk, then it's my awesome recipe, the yeast. So I added only 1/8 teaspoon of the instant dry yeast. Yeah, 1/8 teaspoon of the instant dry yeast. Now, if you are to double this recipe, you can use 1/4 teaspoon. You can see now what you can do. But if you are to make this recipe in 4 quarters, you will just remove 1/8 teaspoon from the measurement you are going to have. So after adding my yeast, I added extra 1 teaspoon of liquid milk. This is to help the yeast to blend in well into the batter. Okay, so once I'm done adding the yeast and the last milk, this is the actual yeast I use, Majesty instant dry yeast. So I transferred this into a greased baking pan lined with a baking paper, and I use, this is 5 inches round pan. You can use the one you have, fine. So after transferring into my pan, I cover this and let it rest for up to 10 to 15 minutes. This is to allow the yeast to react so that the batter will kind of get a little bit airy inside, okay? So an interesting part of this, I made a short crust pastry. I just needed something to make my cake look tantalizing, like, you know. So I could actually go ahead and bake it like that, but I just wanted to put a kind of something, you know, to make it appealing to the eye. So I made a short crust pastry and then sprinkled this on top of the cake, and boom, I was ready to bake this cake. And I baked this cake in my preheated oven at 150 degrees C for 55 minutes. A skewer inserted into the cake should come out clean. Wallahi, wallahi. Don't allow me to speak what I can't speak. So my cake came out so yummy, soft, and believe me, when you try this recipe, honestly, you're going to love it. So you have to let this cake cool down completely. Then after, you can wrap it up. If you're not using it immediately, let it cool down, wrap it up. This will help to moisten the cake, to make it to get, you know, moist and yummy. Everything is going to blend in well. So once the cake is moistened, or you have wrapped it and unwrap it, don't mind me. So you go ahead and slice the cake, and you are ready to enjoy this awesome, fluffy, delicious cake. Believe me, if you try this recipe and you don't love it, that means I'm not the one that made this. Go ahead, try this, and let me know in the comment section how it turned out for you. See you guys in my next video. Bye bye.